What's up, everybody? Purpose here. Now, we're in a different time and place in history that we've never been in before. And I'm talking about country, US of A, being shut down because of a virus that I will not name for precautionary purposes. So, I'm going to talk about the impacts, really. I'm not going to get too deep because, you know how people are, have been getting penalized or, getting really hurt on many different displays of social media for their views. But I'm just going to be brutally honest with y'all. I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about some views, a little bit about some things that just don't make a lot of sense, or just things that I just find displeasure in. So, we're talking about CV-19 there. I mentioned it, okay? I'm not going to call it whatever it is. I'm just calling it CV-19. It's sad because I think it's divided the country and it's divided its people, which is the worst thing. It's the worst thing that can happen, because if we're divided as people, if we're opposing each other, then if we need to rise up, how are we going to do that without arguing, without having people divide on views? You have people literally calling the cops on each other because they're going outside. And a lot of times you're calling the cops on people because they're not wearing a mask. Guys, if you're wearing a mask and you're breathing in and you're breathing out, don't you understand that you're breathing back in the CO2 that you just breathed out? Don't you know that's going to cause probably a virus itself? Viruses aren't necessarily that bad of a thing. I think it's a lot to do with RNA, exosomes. There's a lot of viruses in our body, and I think our immune system is so cool because it builds a lot of immunities to different things, and it does that a lot of times naturally. But when you're sticking things in your body that really shouldn't even be in your body, you're kind of not doing yourself a service, man. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm like, guys, you're probably going to be like, well, this is a crazy thought. What are you talking about? Why do we have a flu season every year? You want to know why? Because they keep talking about getting a flu shot. Did you guys ever stop to think that every time you got a flu shot, you end up catching the flu? Did you ever think about that? Did you ever stop to be like, if I didn't get a flu shot, how about everybody does this? How about everybody test that this 1 year? If I don't get a flu shot this year, will I get sick? Or will I get sicker? Or will I have the same sicknesses that I've had from years prior? It is crazy to think that they said they want to. I don't know if they've ever said they want to eradicate the flu, but they've always talked about flu vaccines and flu this and flu that. Anybody stop to think, maybe I want to test out if I get the flu vaccine. If I don't get the flu vaccine this year, will I get the flu? Anybody ever want to test that? Anybody ever think about that? Anybody ever just get a thought? I don't know. Y'all, like, seriously, a lot of people are acting crazy. This whole mask thing is just completely ridiculous. You have the WHO who is saying wear masks, and they're saying don't wear masks. What are you gonna do? And another thing, people, is this really the thing about this video that I've made before is you gotta think for yourselves. It's ridiculous that you're not. You're just blindly taking all this information that's just thrown in your face. You got Fox News, you got CNN. I had a name for it. I'm not going to say in this video because it's just not appropriate. But just all these people throwing in data, throwing in numbers. I remember Anthony Fauci, didn't he write in the New England Journal of... How do I not know what it's called? My bad. He said that this virus is equal in the fatality to the seasonal flu, which is 0.1%. I've heard it's even lower. Some people have said it's even lower than that. It's about the same fatality as a seasonal flu. You're for real? And you did this? And you shut down the country? 30 million people filed for unemployment in this country, man. 30 million people. That's ridiculous. And the fact that you have small businesses closed. People have to feed their families. They have to put food on the table. They got to pay the bills. Because you know what? You didn't say well, we're going to shut the country down, but everybody gets to not pay bills while the country shut. You never said that. You didn't give anybody out. You gave people $1,200. And the stupid thing is, a lot of people still haven't gotten their $1,200. A lot of people are unemployed with no money coming in, but money going out. You got people with small businesses that they've invested in, and they can't bring in the moolah because you said no law. It's things like this that just really irk my mind. That irk me. I was watching I think it was CNN last night, and this dude in California was being interviewed because he said he doesn't matter if he gets fined, he doesn't care about that. He's invested in these barbershops, and he doesn't have time to just sit around and do nothing because he has to pay the bills. He's got to put food on the table for his kids. These people have kids out here. Kids. They don't have time for this. They really don't. They've sat by long enough. And then you got the California governor saying, I'm going to fine people. Fine people for what? Because they want to go live their lives, because they want to go put food on the table, because they know that if they don't do this, they're going to be out on the streets because they can't feed their kids. People are doing this for their children. We have never shut down the world for anything like this before. There have been many things for years before, and this is what you've done. We're getting all hyped up because there's been 60,000 deaths in the U.S. from CV-19. There have been over 200,000 deaths worldwide. Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm not even trying to minimize this because there really is something out there. But people die every day. And people are getting sick. And a lot of this is just affecting the elderly people. A lot of people, to me, I think it's pretty much well documented, people are going to recover because a lot of people are asymptomatic. But what happens is asymptomatic people are targeted because they don't know that they have it, so they could be spreading it to other people. Did you guys ever stop to take a look at Sweden? Sweden, what they've done, which is excellent, which is real science, which these scientists in the U.S. and these people in the U.S., these journalists on news, not even mentioning this, they are doing herd immunity. So if this does come back, you are immune to it naturally. So you don't have to have a vaccine. So you're not putting stuff that you don't know is what else is in the vaccine in your body. They're not doing that. They are doing herd immunity. They did not close schools. They did not close restaurants. They're still abiding by social distancing because, that's just what they feel. I think it's a whole bunch of crap because, to me, social distancing does another thing. It impacts your mental health. Suicide. You have domestic violence going up. Child abuse. It's ridiculous. That's what's happening because of social distancing. Not being able to see your friends, not being able to see your family members. You can't go see a loved one in the hospital. And then you have all these reports. You have doctors all over saying, we've never put patients on ventilators like this. This is not what we do. That's not what they do. Woo! Man. Guys, it's all out in front of you, man. Like Sweden, they didn't close anything. They said herd immunity is how we're going to get through this. And I don't know how many people died in Sweden, but I don't know how I'm supposed to know because the news isn't even putting it on air, which should tell you something. This is a fear-mongering plot. And if you say it's not a plot, then you're blind. You're really not paying attention. I don't know how you're not looking at a country that's doing something that would make sense scientifically that's not being put on air, but you're still putting on air all these other doctors saying that, you really got to be cautious of opening up the country, man, because if you don't, there could be another wave. Well, there wouldn't be another wave that you would need to be scared of if we all would have probably gotten it. And I'm going to tell you like this. If you're saying you're asymptomatic, that means you're becoming immune to it, man. It means you become immune to it, which means if a lot more people were immune, then maybe these cases would go down, maybe the deaths would go down, and you would only really need to protect the elderly because their immune systems are not as strong as the younger generations. And here's another thing. Here's another thing that's ticked me off to a different thing. These people are talking about, there's different people, you have celebrities talking about, you're being a hero by sitting in your basement, sitting on your butt. Got Burger King saying that. I don't know if you weirdos were paying attention, but I'm pretty sure Deborah Burke said that if you have any underlying cause, if you have anything but you tested positive for COVID-19, the cool thing is that when you see these reports, we're reporting it as a COVID-19 death. It doesn't matter if you had any underlying cause. You even had an Illinois, I think state government officials saying that it does not matter what you've had. If you tested positive for COVID-19, we're going to put that on the death certificate. You're telling me you put that out in the news, and this is how I know that people just aren't paying attention, because people don't get angry. You're just like, oh my goodness, wow, that's a lot of deaths. That is a lot of deaths, isn't it? Wouldn't that make sense to say, well, you're telling me if I had a heart condition and I had a heart attack and I died today, don't matter what else, I'll be put on as a COVID-19 death? Wouldn't that make you scratch your dome? Wouldn't that make you scratch your head a little bit? Would it? Would it? No. Nope. It would not. Apparently it would not. So I say all this to say, people, I'm gonna need y'all to wake up. I'm gonna need you to start just paying attention, because really, I'm all the stuff that I'm telling you guys, they've literally said it on the news multiple times. And then you just let it fly by. It's like a fly. You guys just let it like a little fly by and just not pay attention to it. You let it literally smack you in the face and just be like, oh, must be the wind. I don't know what to do for y'all. I don't know, I don't know if this gets worse. I don't know what to tell y'all. People say there's no hope in humanity. What needs to happen is people need to not only be more positive, but you've just got to start helping your neighbors. And if they don't listen, I would still tell them stuff, just so if something happens, they won't be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know anything about this. And they could go up to them and be like, nah, you idiot, I told you this, but you didn't listen because you thought the government was trying to help you. But in reality, they were just trying to scare y'all and trying to really control you guys' thoughts. You see, the worst thing that can happen is that you can allow someone, you thought about this the other day. You only give somebody, the only power somebody can have over you is the power that you give them. And people don't even think about this. These people are elected officials, so-called elected officials, because we really don't even know if our votes actually elect these people in office. But I don't really want to get into that, because, it's just a stupid topic, because then you're going to have people like, oh, well, what conspiracy theory are you talking about now, guy? And I'm not trying to hear it, because you guys really right now are just not being smart in here. Anyway, back to the point. These people are elected officials. Elected. And you're allowing them to tell you that you need to keep your butt in the house, or we're going to find you, we're going to put your little butts in jail. You've literally allowed these people to tell you whatever in Fence's name to just stay in the house. You don't need to work. You can just stay employed. You can just apply for these benefits. Y'all allow this to happen. So, whatever happens, don't say nobody told you so. Don't say I didn't tell you so. Just don't say that. Don't act like you didn't get the warnings when we try to tell y'all what's going on. So, I think I'm gonna end this video like this. The only power that somebody has is the power that you give them. Think about that. Y'all have given them their power by being afraid, by just listening, not by doing any research. Y'all have done that voluntarily. So I'm not really mad. I wouldn't say I'm mad. I'd say I'm a little ticked off. But at the end of the day, y'all giving them their power. They literally had no power. You want to know why? You want to know how I know they didn't have any power? Because they had to do this just to get people's attention. That's how freely, okay, were we free? They were still kind of controlling us, but people were literally going about their lives, not giving a rat's patootie about what the government was saying or doing. Like, people were just literally doing their thing, starting their own businesses, just going along with life. Kids going to school, I'm going to work, I'm making money, not really relying too much on the government. And now we got 30 million people unemployed. So, in a matter of a month and a half, that's what's happening. We're on May 1st, people. Wow. So, hope you guys have a great day. Take what you want from this video. Leave your comments, let me know what you think. It's just, life is opinion based, so it's just, whatever you take from it, whatever. At this point, I really don't care what you guys do, because you guys have literally given away all your power. You guys literally given away, you've literally, sorry, hard for me to speak. You've literally given them your minds, basically. Now they can just put whatever they want into it. So, hope, y'all got to do some soul searching. That's all I got to say. Purpose Gym Life Sports. Hope you guys are doing good. I'll see you guys in my next video, which is probably coming in tomorrow. You guys will see me tomorrow. Thank you. So, see you guys next time.